So we're living in the era of the nonchalant personality, where the ultimate goal is to look like nothing affects you and you're essentially too cool to exist. We've turned emotional numbness into a luxury aesthetic. If you don't care, you can't be embarrassed. If you don't try, you can't fail. But this coolness is a coma. You're sacrificing your personality at the altar of being chill. And all you're left with is a curated empty shell of a human being who is too afraid to actually feel anything. Why do we find things cringe? It's usually when we see someone else being vulnerable, passionate, or enthusiastic in a way that we've been told is too much. When someone loves a hobby, a person, or an idea with their whole heart, it triggers our own insecurities. We call them corny because their sincerity shines a light on our own lack of it. Cringe isn't a flaw in the other person, it's a mirror reflecting our fear of being seen as too loud or too intense. Being ironic and unbothered is a defense mechanism. It's armor. If you're always joking, always sarcastic, always keeping people at arm's length with a not that deep attitude, you never have to stand for anything. But armor is heavy, and it's meant for war, not for living. You've spent too much time protecting yourself from being laughed at that you've forgotten how to be moved by anything. You've built a cage out of vibe checks and nonchalance, and you're wondering why you feel so lonely inside. We've started performing apathy for an audience that doesn't even care. You spend hours making sure your Instagram or TikTok looks like you just threw it together, even though you took 50 photos to get the right level of accidental blur. It's a performance of not trying. We've become a generation that is terrified of being caught trying hard. Anything worth doing is going to make you look a little desperate at first. If you're too cool to try, you're too cool to grow. When you prioritize being low key over being honest, you lose your edges. You become a blur. The people we actually admire in history, the artists, the revolutionaries, the creators, they were all cringe by today's standards. They were obsessed, they were loud, they were too much. They didn't even care about the vibe check, they cared about the vision. By trying to fit into the narrow box of what's socially acceptable and cool, you're suffocating the only parts of yourself that are actually interesting. Being corny often just means showing that you need something, needing love, needing success, needing to be understood. The nonchalant person pretends they need nothing. They're self sufficient to the point of isolation. But humans are not built for detachment, we are built for connection. When you look down on someone for being extra, you're actually looking down on their humanity. You're judging them for having the courage to admit they want more out of life than just a clean aesthetic. In a world of creating, whether it's videos, art, or new brands, there is a cringe tax you have to pay. You have to be willing to look a bit goofy while you're figuring it out. The nonchalant crowd will never pay that tax, so they stay exactly where they are, in the comment section. They'd rather be cool and stagnant than cringe and successful. If you aren't willing to be misunderstood for a while, you will never be worth understanding. You have to let people laugh at your passion if you ever want them to respect your work. There's a profound freedom in allowing yourself to be corny. It's the freedom to like what you like without checking if it's cool. It's the freedom to post the video if the lighting isn't perfect, or to tell someone you appreciate them without the layer of sarcasm. Once you accept that cringe is just the price of admission for a life that actually matters, the world opens up. You stop being a spectator of other people's coolness and you start being the lead in your own messy, passionate story. The world doesn't need more unbothered people. I mean, we have too many of those already. What we need right now are people who are bothered. People who care about something with a deep passion to do it. People who care too much. People who are willing to be the most cringe person in the room if it means they get to be the most authentic. The next time you feel that urge to pull back because you're afraid of looking corny, I want you to lean in instead. Let them laugh at you. Let them call you cringe. At least by the end of the day, you're feeling something while they're busy performing a coma. If you like this video, please leave a comment and subscribe for more content like this.